All right, so we're live. It's just about midnight here. Don't know who else is up at this particular time, but the Soulfinder Demons match campaign is rounding out in just a couple minutes. So I really just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has supported the campaign. I know I did this earlier, but since I stayed up for so long, I figured, hey, I might as well just say thank you again since it's officially the end of the campaign. So for those who haven't followed it, and maybe you're not on Twitter, I've been on Twitter quite a bit lately. I guess I could refresh this right here just to make sure I got the latest numbers for backers and all that kind of stuff. So Soulfinder, Demons Match, my book with Timothy Lim, Brett R. Smith, covers by Dave Dorman, and additional artwork by Matt Weldon, has reached $33,185, and it has 915 backers at the moment. So it'll be open for another 14 minutes, and then Rumble Terrier says, "Congrats, Doug. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for all your support. Everything for everybody." I know there was somebody earlier was like, I couldn't financially back it at this time. No problem. Even just liking my comments, even sharing anything, retweeting things on Twitter, whatever, that is plenty of support for me. I'm very grateful for that, so thank you. Let's see, keep it up for 10 minutes. I'm going to get one now, says Sage Samurai. Yeah, it'll be up for another 14 minutes, and then I guess I got to check. I know Tim and Brett have actually, this is literally my first campaign, so I don't know if it'll automatically just basically cut it off, or it'll go into in-demand mode or whatnot. So I'll have to check that at midnight, but then I'll switch it off if I have to, or maybe I'll just wake up. If it goes into in-demand, I'll just wake up tomorrow morning and turn it off, whatever. But the long and short of it is that I really just wanted to say thank you. We asked for $10,000 and ended up with over $33,000, and 900 and whatever the heck backers it was, 915. So, and that's not even including, there are dozens and dozens of international backers that are not listed on there. So I don't know. We came pretty close to 1,000 backers when all is said and done, with the international crowd that's not on there. So there's a couple people I made exceptions for because of on a one-on-one basis, people wanted to do certain things, and so I made some exceptions. But I would say like 95% or more of the international backers are not reflected in the final tally there. So very happy with that. Brett and Tim in particular, sharing everything on Twitter, everything that they did to help promote the campaign. Can't thank them enough. Matt Weldon, of course, Dave Dorman, of course, all of you, all the different YouTubers. I know I missed people earlier. There was like Starcast Network, Nerdette's Newsstand, obviously, Edwin Boyette, Ethan Van Sciver, the Drawn and Quartered guys. I'm trying to think of who else. Anyone I didn't miss earlier. Obviously, Nerdrotic and Just Some Guy. And I'm missing somebody, and I apologize. I know earlier I mentioned the Matriarchy stream. Captain Frugal. How can I forget Captain Frugal? I'm sorry, Captain Frugal. So, or I guess I didn't. I caught myself before I forgot Captain Frugal and Nerd Wonder. And so on and on and on and on. So I'm sure I forgot even more people, and I apologize for that. But the really big ones were Nerdrotic, Ethan Van Sciver, and Just Some Guy. Richard C. Meyer, I guess I almost forgot about him. He gave me a quick shout out in an earlier stream on like the first day or two. So obviously Richard. But actually a lot of people came from Just Some Guy's video. A lot of people. And so I can't thank him enough for that. And it works out well because, like I said, he may or may not have a little hat tip in the book. So that's that. Let's see who's tuning in here. Bianca Fights the Zombies. Hey, dude, good job. Bianca, thank you very much. Oh, Teresa Martin, she actually did a video as well. That was one that actually was quite touching as well. That one and Just Some Guy. whenever I see with Teresa, she at the time she didn't even have 100 subscribers at the time, and so I said on Twitter that you always have your early days of your YouTube channel in mind. You always remember those, and so it was kind of cool to me that somebody with less than 100 subscribers would take time out of their day and do I don't even know what it was. We'll just say a 10 or 15 minute video on Soulfinder and why she was backing it. So that was really cool. And actually, the guys at Insider, I don't know if it'll be up soon or not, but they actually did an interview with me when I was down at the Bell County Comic Con. And so that'll be up if it's not already up. I didn't see it on Twitter today. That'll be up very soon as well. So I obviously thank them. Everybody who came to see me at Bell County Comic Con down in Texas. I had a great time. I talked to Tim, what was it, yesterday, 2 days ago? I'm losing track of time. The past 48 hours, I have not had a lot of sleep. I probably won't get a lot of sleep tonight either. But I'm going to try and be there next year as well. I'll actually have books to sign next year instead of just the little baseball cards and then the prints like this that I had at the time. So next year I will actually have books, and I don't know what the timeline will be for the next Soulfinder installment. We'll see. I don't know if I'll be able to get that done in time or not for Bell County Comic Con. We'll see. I got a lot going on. I found out tonight that I will be going to the Philippines in January for, I don't know, 8 days or so. So that'll be interesting. I've never been to the Philippines. And hopefully my flight goes all right, and we'll see how that goes. Let's see, Alfonso Lopez. Well done, Doug. The future is independent. Yeah, that was another thing with the campaign. I wanted to, like I said, obviously I wanted to be successful, but I wanted to run the campaign in a way that I didn't need to change who I am in order to sell the book. I wanted to essentially just sort of be myself and do it in my, I don't know, the way that was in line with my principles. I didn't want to do some sort of, I didn't want to become a dancing bear. So somebody I know that's not online, doesn't have anything to do with online, it's actually somebody here in Reno. They essentially, for all intents and purposes, very nice person, but he was essentially saying I should be a dancing bear for anybody. And as long as I got my name out there and got Soulfinder out there, did not matter as long as I was selling comic books to people. And I was like, that's not me. You obviously don't know who I am. I'm not going to sell my soul for Soulfinder comic books. No pun intended or whatever. I obviously want to push my product as hard as I can. And I want to make a strenuous pitch to people, but I didn't want to be like dancing around and like a clapping seal for people. I didn't want to beg people. To me, I was hoping that my reputation over the course of many years doing this sort of stuff, people know who I am, and I talk with people on a regular basis. And for the most part, people just reached out and they said, hey, how can I help you? Want to help? And I was like, well, whatever you want to do, whatever you're comfortable with. If you want to have me on, that's cool. If you want to talk to me, that's cool. If you want to just tweet stuff, that's cool. Whatever works. And so that worked for me. Like I said, we raised over the $10,000 that we wanted. We got $33,000 and change. And that's very nice because I wanted to make sure my artist, Timothy Lim, I wanted to make sure Brett R. Smith were properly compensated for their immense talents. The last thing I wanted, because they went into it, they didn't know what, this could have been a total flop. I could have put it out there and people could have been like, yeah, I think I'll pass. Exorcist Priest, I don't know about that one, Doug. But it seems like most people out there, they were like, all right, this is a pretty cool premise. Let's see what you do with it. And so it went well. But like I said, I wanted to make sure Tim and Brett were paid accordingly to their talent. And I was going to be really upset with myself if I didn't create something that could properly compensate them. Meow Cat says, "Dance, monkey, dance." Yeah, I didn't want to be like Derek Zoolander or anything like that. Matthew, thank you for having me on your stream as well. I think I mentioned earlier today and tonight the Matriarchy stream. I appreciate that. Doug is OG Comic Skates says, Bianca. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate that. I will always try and stay true to my principles, and where somebody else's preferences meet up against my principles, we gotta part ways. I'm sorry. I could compromise on my preferences, not gonna compromise on my principles. Let's see. Ken, hey Doug, how you doing? Saw you went live. I'm popping in. Ken, thank you very much for coming in and supporting this stream, and in any ways that you have supported Soulfinder, I appreciate it. Sage Samurai, I just ordered Soulfinder. Thanks. Question: can you get Comicsgate artists and writers to do a panel at a Comic-Con, or would that push SJWs over the edge? If I could get into if a con wanted to invite me somewhere and put me on a panel, I would be happy to talk about anything anyone wanted to talk about, particularly as it relates to the industry, the culture, the craft of writing, crowdfunding. So yeah, I'm game to talk about whatever anybody wants. I'll go anywhere, anytime. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not worried about people going over the edge or something like that. That they don't really bother me. So yeah, I'm not really worried about that. And I don't know. And actually, to me, if short of somebody actually trying to shoot me or something like that, if it's just somebody who's throwing a tantrum, even throwing their fists around in the air like a weirdo, that doesn't bother me. I don't mind about that. So as long as you don't go after me and in a way that will take my life, I'm okay with it. Do whatever you want. It doesn't bother me. Let's see. Hopefully that answers your question. But thank you, Sage Samurai, for backing Soulfinder. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone who's tuning in so late tonight. Like I said, this is really just me saying thank you to everybody. So $33,237 with 917 backers. More than I ever kind of dreamed of. I didn't know what to expect from any of this. And so, like I said, as long as we've reached our $10,000 goal, I was happy. But like I also wanted to, and obviously in the back of your mind, you want to raise as much as possible for the rest of your team, because they put a lot of hard work into it. It's very stressful to try and realize somebody else's vision. And Tim he actually had to shift his style a little bit, show some other tools in his toolbox. This is a more serious story. So I know that there was maybe inadvertently a certain level of pressure, because it's not what he's typically done in the other books that he put out there. So I can't thank Tim enough for taking that leap of faith on Soulfinder. Again, no pun intended. Bianca fights the zombies. If I get bigger, we'll be glad to have you on a live stream for your next book. Yeah, Bianca, you don't need to have a bigger channel. I don't even know exactly how many subscribers you have. I know I've checked out your channel before. If you want to talk about something related to crowdfunding, I don't care if you have 5 subscribers or if you have 500 or 5,000. It doesn't really matter to me. As long as you get with me in advance, we could work something out. So just shoot me either an email at douglasernst@douglasernst.blog, or if you're on Twitter, and shoot me a DM and say like, hey, do you want to figure something out? Or if you want to wait until the next book, that's fine. But I don't want anyone to think that I am weird about if somebody has less than 100 subscribers going on their stream. It's not that. It's really a time issue. Like I said, as long as I have advance notice and I could work it out, that's fine. I don't usually do too many live streams, but I think we could work something out. All right, so Matthew says, I just so happen to be a planner for a mini-con in West Nebraska. Oh, very cool. Yeah, now if I could work it out down the line, Nebraska, yeah, why not? went to Texas. I'll go to Nebraska. So we'll see what happens down the line. Maybe with Soulfinder Volume 2. Go to Nebraska. Let's see, Ken, Doug, a lot of the more well-known Comicsgate associates do not go to cons because they were physically threatened. No, I understand that, and I totally respect anyone who's like, I'm not going to a con if I'm physically threatened. Like, yeah, that's totally irrational for somebody to not want to go to a con because they fear for their physical safety. Far be it from me to lecture somebody else about doing what they feel is right in accordance with their physical safety standards and expectations. But for me personally, weirdo left-wing ideologues, Antifa types, whatever, that doesn't bother me. That I'm not, yeah. So let's see. Unhinged Crank says, missed a stream with you and EBS. Where is it? I believe that Ethan accidentally shared some personal information on his screen that it was an inadvertent thing, and he said that he was going to at least, at a minimum, chop a portion of the stream. So he may have taken the entire thing down, which kind of stinks to me because I thought it was a pretty good stream. I thought we had a really good conversation with, especially Clint from Sweetcast came on, and he was on for at least an hour. I want to say we were on for a long time. So I don't know if it still exists, if it's gone totally, but it was a really good stream, and it's unfortunate that I think he shared some personal information. That's what he told me. Let's see. It is 11:59 here in Northern California. All right, and so yep. So looks like it's midnight. Looks like the campaign is officially over, and I'll check on my screen and see if it just goes into the in-demand store or whatever. So, or it's locked out. It's so boom, it's gone. 917 backers, $33,000, $33,237. So there you go. Again, thank you guys very much. Clint is a good dude. Yeah, Clint's always been really nice to me. He helped promote Soulfinder. Oh, if I didn't mention, I was on Sweetcast's stream as well, and I'm losing track of time. I had Sweetcast, I had Clint on with Eric Weathers on this channel as well, and we had a crowdfunding conversation. Was Professor Geek on there? Yeah, Professor Geek was on there as well. Professor Geek had me on his channel, so thanks to Professor Geek. Like I said, there's just so many names and different channels rattling around in my head right now. It's hard to remember everybody. So blanket statement, thank you to everybody, and especially Twitter. Twitter was huge. The two big, I have to go to the analytics on Indiegogo, but a huge number of people obviously came here from the YouTube links that I put in my videos and the community tabs, and a huge chunk of people came from the Twitter links that I was putting out pretty much every single day, and the short link for the Indiegogo campaign. So Twitter and Facebook were huge. If you're thinking about getting into crowdfunding, basically you kind of either have to have a YouTube channel, or you need to have somebody who does, or you have to be able to get on enough streams with people who will actually put the link in the description field to get that YouTube traffic. Twitter, if you could establish yourself on Twitter, or again, have a network that's big enough of people who will share your stuff on a regular basis. That was huge. I actually, Google search engines as well. I think that's because of my blog, which is, it's not totally inactive, but I usually just post my YouTube videos there these days. So I had my blog, and I know Google traffic was actually brought more than I thought. So I might be able to do a video. I know people are weird about sharing their analytics on this stuff. I don't really care. I'm happy to talk to people about any of this. So that was where a lot of traffic came from. And I did a little experiment with ads on faith-based websites as well. That was a very small percentage, actually. There were some people that came, and it was interesting to see where exactly they came from. Again, I could in the future go into a live stream or do up a video and all this sort of stuff. But it was interesting to see where the ad revenue came from, or the backers that came from my ads that were on faith-based websites across the internet. So let's see. Elijah says, hello, Doug. Hello. Perth says, EVS forgets to log out of Indiegogo when he is showing off other people's books. One click too many and you can dox yourself. Yeah, that's basically what happened. Is he wanted to see about the perks, or he clicked on the Dave he wanted to look into the Dave Dorman cards, and I think it gave out his personal information. So he just chopped the stream. Let's see, Neostar Productions, no in demand. Well, yeah. So still congratulations. Yeah. So we didn't do the in demand store because Tim for logistic. He's doing all the logistics for the book, basically, and it's good to have a number, and a very exact number, as early as possible when you're getting with the printers and all that sort of stuff. And so I put my faith in Tim in terms of getting the book out on time or early. That is the thing. I don't want any hangups whatsoever with getting this book out to people quickly. And then I have to obviously circle back with all the international backers after U.S. customers are taken care of and they are happy. So international backers, people that are up, I know it's getting early in the morning for you guys overseas. I'm sorry, but we're taking care of America first. And but I will take care of you one-on-one afterwards, and I will do whatever it takes to make sure you get your book, make sure you're happy, and we could have you back for Soulfinder Volume 2 if everything goes well. But it's actually going to take me it's going to be a little bit to go through all the international backers. It's just me. I got to fill out all the forms and mail everything myself. It's not too bad, but it's still going to take a while. So, all right. So again, the campaign is officially over. I'll go through any last questions here, and then I am going to go to bed, because I have not had a lot of sleep in the past few days. Ken says, all right. Oh, we talked about that. Let's see. GK1 says, sending a copy to my uncle. I think I inherited my love of comics from him. He lived the art and concept. Then I wait for the international stuff. Thanks, GK1. I really appreciate that. I hope your uncle likes the book as well. Let me know how that goes. Give me some feedback. Let's see. Everybody else who tuned in. And all right, guys. So unless there's any last questions, again, thanks to everyone. $33,237 for Soulfinder Demons match. 917 backers. You guys are awesome. Men and women, thank you very much. Ken Jackson says, I like Superman. Maybe in the future I'll write a more superhero-ish book as opposed to just a regular man who is doing extraordinary things in extraordinary circumstances, harrowing circumstances at times. So let's see. Perth, congrats on the campaign. Thank you, Neostar Productions. It's cool, Doug. I put my faith in Tim too. Now Walmite and Trump Space Force are some of my favorite comics. Speaking of Walmite, got my Walmite right here. And actually, now that the campaigns, I actually got this when I got back from Texas. I still have not read it yet. I will read this weekend. So Tim, if you're watching, I apologize. I've only been focused on the campaign, and now that I'm done, I could check out Walmite. I'm sure it's good, and then I will learn how to use that camera back there that my wife got me. Just got the microphone today, so I will figure out how to use this camera that is supposed to be really good. Maybe I'll go outside with it. We'll see. Again, everybody, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all your support. I'll be back with a new video in the near future. Again, I said earlier today, or yesterday now, that the next one was going to be on Mark Waid. So I think that still stands. Want to go after just some guy? I'm going to be doing a video on you, Mark Waid, and Mark Zaid as well. So I'll be sending that maybe your way, Mark Waid. Who knows? On Twitter. No, maybe I won't. So he watches anyway. I know Mark Waid watches all of our stuff. So good night, everyone. I will see you later. See ya.